So, hi, this is Melanie from Awaken and Anchor, and today I'm starting this beautiful journey of the inspirationals interviews, which actually are more like conversations. And I'm so happy to be here today with Kate Ambrose. We are actually study buddies in our lucid dreaming facilitator training with Charlie Morley. And so we will hopefully inspire you to try and find out what it's all about, this lucid dreaming. Kate is a carer for disabled people and lives currently in England.
Denmark, in
Denmark.
Denmark.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Denmark, exactly. And yes, so I'm so happy to talk to you today. And yeah, so let's directly dive into the first question. So my first question for you today is, what did inspire you first to learn about lucid dreaming, and what does ignite your practice today?
Okay, so actually my delve into lucid dreaming was quite quick. Really luckily, a friend told me about it, and I think it was that night. I couldn't, first of all, I couldn't believe it. I could kind of believe it, but I couldn't believe it. And that first night, or maybe two nights later, was when I had my first lucid dream. And it was just monumental. I couldn't believe it. I found myself in my bed, flying down. I was living in London at the time, flying down Cold Harbour Lane and looking down. I could see people around. I was like, how can they not see me? I'm like in a bed above them. And it was phenomenal. And after that, I was hooked because I mean, I was awake. I was awake. I was in the street. Everything. I went to another place. All strange things happened, but I was awake. I was awake in this space, and anything can happen there. It was just mind blowing. So yeah, that was my first experience,
It's
and
amazing that
then
it happened so fast, right? So
I know,
immediately. Huh.
yeah, exactly. I don't remember. I think I just did some reality checks, and that was it. And my mind obviously wanted to get lucid, so yeah.
How did you know about the reality checks? Did the friend
I think
already
he
tell you?
told me. Yeah, I
Ah,
think he just gave me a little breakdown of everything and told me about what it could do to become lucid, and it was something like reality checks or something like that. I don't remember doing any in the dream. I just remember becoming aware somehow. I think just sometimes planting the seed and letting people know that it's possible. If you're ripe for it, then that can be enough for your mind
absolutely.
to be like, oh yeah, this is a thing, and yeah.
Did you, after that first lucid dream, did you then um, like read some books, or did you just continue
Yeah.
to try?
I think I just carried on trying. And I think it would just happen sporadically. I don't think I was really like so knowledgeable that I was keeping dream diaries or things like that. Although at the time I've always been really interested in my dreams, so I've kept dream diaries anyway. Um, but it was more just like waiting for it to happen and then just experiencing it. And I wasn't really, set out to, oh, I must lucid dream and I'm a lucid dream practitioner or anything like that. It was just letting it come and go as it came and went. So yeah.
May I ask how long ago was that first lucid dream?
Oh, it must have nearly 20 years. I think
Wow.
it must have been nearly 20 years. Yeah, maybe
Mhm.
18 years ago or something.
Wow.
So it's
So cool.
yeah, I still remember it. It's like, like a very strong memory. Something really incredible happens. It's just burnt in there. It's yeah,
And
yeah.
what is it that now you're today passionate about? I mean, we are doing this training together, so what is it that keeps
Yeah.
you going?
I think now I've learned the application for lucid dreaming, how it can be helpful, how it can help you overcome your fears, to become like a wholer person, to get to know yourself really deeply, to see parts of your mind that your mind wants to show you. Just it's the mystery. I think the mystery of it, and the healing aspect as well, like being able to overcome traumas and meet your shadow and do all these things that can really benefit us in our daily life and waking life. Yeah, it's just incredible. It's incredible to be able to wake up inside your brain so, and walk around in it and see what's there. It's just, yeah.
Absolutely, I do agree very much, especially when it all flows into the waking state and we benefit so much in our
Yeah,
daily lives. Yeah, as you said.
yeah.
Um, so is there one impactful lucid dream or a part of it that you'd like to share?
I can think of several, but I think no, the two I'm thinking of actually, they share a common theme, and that was like confronting fears. So in one, I confronted like a noise that was coming from a room, which kept happening. I wasn't able to fly in my lucid dream anymore because every time I tried to fly, I would just be held back by this noise coming from this room. It was terrifying. It was like a whoa, it's like horrible groan. And then I became lucid and passed this doorway, and was like, okay, now it's time to face it. And I'd read that I could slow things down, so I just looked at the doorway and I said, slowly, slowly, slowly. And this thing came out the doorway, and it was just me as a big like blue monster thing, which was from like some cartoon or book that I'd been reading to a little child recently. And it was just like the least frightening thing that I could think of. I just think I laughed. I was just like, what? This is not scary. Like, how could I have thought this was scary? And I asked her what she was, and she said that she was my shame.
Mm.
And then she stepped aside, and then I walked through this doorway, and then I think I woke up from that point. But when I went through the doorway, I realized I was on this big stage in a theater. And on waking, I realized that I had to um, overcome my shame, meet my shame, in order to enter onto the next stage of my life. It was like the symbolism was so bold,
Wow.
and it was just like it gives me goosebumps
Mm,
even
me too.
now. It was just really, it's just incredible. And the other one was also fear, and it was choosing actually to go through the eye. I'd been on my first Vipassana, which was very, very intense for me, incredible experience. And then the night I got home, I basically felt like I lucid dreamt for the whole night. It was amazing. But I met this huge being, and I was going through his eye.
Mm.
And when I went through his eye, I was like spiraling down, down, down through like all my fear, all my shame, all my negativity, all the darkness, and I was spiraling down, 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 down. And then I came up, and then I decided to do it again. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'll go again. And I went again, and I went through it all, and I experienced all this like terror and fear and agony. It was really horrific, but I had the strength to do it within the dream. At the bottom, I do have not a regret. I'm still working on it. There's always shadow aspects there. It's how much is there, we don't know. But at the very bottom, I opened a door, and inside I just saw the most terrifying thing. It was like something sitting on a bed, and it was like a bit like, do you know Pan's Labyrinth? And there's this
Yes.
monster with his eyes thing. It was a bit like that,
Uh-huh.
but it had no face, and it was turning slowly around to look at me. And as it had no face, and its face was forming, and I just like shut the door. I was like, nope, no, not. I can't deal with that. It was too much. So I feel frustrated. Like, oh, if only I could have just stayed a couple of more minutes and dealt with that. But so yeah, I'm still working on those shadow aspects, and I'm waiting to meet that being. Whether it turns up at the same thing or not,
Yeah.
I won't know, but hopefully I'll be ready when it happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can tell you, it's so inspiring to listen to you. And yeah, it's also very helpful, to see that we can, in that safe space of our mind, really meet
Mm.
parts. right? And in fact, you already answered practically my next question, but still, maybe we can very briefly touch on it. So the question was, how do you think lucid dreaming can help us integrate parts of ourselves? And maybe we can shortly touch on the aspect that we can actually decide beforehand to meet what we like to meet, so or what we wish to meet. So maybe you want to touch very shortly on that.
Yeah, so yeah, when we make our dream plans, we can definitely say, oh, I want to meet the shadow, or I want to meet, my shame or my guilt or my fear. Um, one of my plans, one of my many plans is to find out what it is that I'm really afraid of, because I think sometimes we don't even know what we're afraid of. So something can be holding us back in life and we're not even aware of what it is. And it might be something really unexpected. So you can get some like brilliant insights because you're speaking to your unconscious, you're speaking to the part that knows you without you knowing it in a way. So definitely there's a lot of ways of healing and integrating through lucid dreaming. It's a bit like therapy, but you're the best therapist. You yourself are the best therapist if you can go into the lucid dream and do the work there, because it's so powerful. It's so powerful, and the brain knows. Well, it believes it knows that what's happening is real in the sense that the effects are felt after. So any healing that happens there it happens. It happens in real time and on a really, really deep level.
Yeah. Well,
So
what was your feeling when you let's say confronted the sound that turned into a cartoon monster, but
yeah,
still, when you woke up, what did you feel? Was there a shift in any? Did you feel something?
yeah. I mean, it's hard to remember now, but yeah, I think that something really changed then. Um, Even just, if nothing else, then the power that I had and the confidence I gained from being able to face something, to stand there and be like, okay, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to keep running away. That bleeds into your everyday. You have this ability, your abilities. If you can face something really terrifying, even the dream feels real. So it's not like, oh, it's just a dream. It feels real. So yeah, it gives you a lot of well, it gave me a lot of courage and abilities to stand up for myself, and yeah, confidence really, I think, as well. And I can face things that are difficult. So
Mm. That's
yeah.
what happened to me as well. So I can totally, um, yeah, it totally resonates what you say, because for me it was the transforming the nightmare and the fact that I could stand up to the aggressor. So I turned around towards him and faced him, and then at the end even was able to send him love. But it was the moment of turning around, so not running, and
Yeah.
I exactly what you say. If anything else, I mean, that
Mm.
feeling remained of that moment of not running away,
Yeah.
facing something, even
Mm.
even if it's it's really frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
that's the thing, isn't it? It's that it's the moment of decision. It feels like that. It was just the moment of decision, like, okay, now I'm gonna do it.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
so yeah, it was it felt extremely courageous. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I am already inspired. I guess everyone else who will watch this will be too. I have this one last question, which is dear
Mhm.
to my heart. So the question is, where do you see the potential of lucid dreaming for the evolution of mankind? It's a big question, I know, but I'm very,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I love it because it has to do with a very deep, transformative impact that lucid dreaming can have. So what do you think?
Well, as humans, we're evolving all the time, and to evolve our consciousness is just part of our evolution. I think the more people that lucid dream, it's going to become easier for other people to lucid dream as well. I think, this thing of critical mass and morphic resonance and these sort of words come into play. Yeah, I think that we need to evolve. We need to evolve mentally, we need to evolve psychically, and lucid dreaming, who knows what can happen in that state. Some people could talk about meeting loved ones who have passed, or meeting people that they know in waking life, that there's so much potential there. I feel like that maybe there's some kind of what's the word, some kind of equation that,
Mm,
oh, if you do this and this and this, then you can get to this place, or this and this and this, then it equals this. And it's just about finding, like, okay, what dream plan can I do to open up this part of my mind, or to rid me of this fear. And maybe if there's certain a path we can follow, maybe it
yes.
could be quite, like just a schedule, like, okay, this, and then, becoming more enlightened, kinder, more generous, feeling safer, and being less fearful of death, being less fearful of like this whole scarcity idea.
Yeah.
If we can just have mind sovereignty.
Mm.
um, yeah, I think,
Wouldn't
yeah,
it be
there's
great?
so much potential.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what is. I think that we can't imagine what is possible. I think
Yeah.
it goes beyond what what people think is possible.
That's true. That's true. But wouldn't it be also amazing? So one of my ideas lately is also, wouldn't it be amazing if it would be integrated in our educational system?
Yeah.
Because actually, I had nightmares, really heavy nightmares from an early age on, and as I said once to Charlie Morley, I would have loved to know about this or already in my teens
Yeah.
because I was struggling a lot. So yeah, I think that would be an important step in the evolution. So to not arrive at, let's say, 30, 40, or
Yeah.
50 to start this work, but to start early in a playful manner. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true, because if you start when you're younger as well, it's much easier when you're younger.
Yeah,
So if you can keep that plasticity in your brain, then hopefully it would just be easier to continue doing it. It wouldn't be like, oh, I've got to start, got to get my brain used to this again. But yeah,
exactly.
I think it would be brilliant. I think it was a massive educational tool that's completely untapped at the moment. I completely agree. And also for people, for example, working as a carer. So I see people that are, maybe they don't have um, the ability to walk, or the ability to talk and things like that. But training people who have disabilities to go into a space where they have more freedom as well, where they can experience what it's like to run on a beach, or something that they miss doing or they've never done before. It kind of opens up a world. It gives a lot of freedom, and I think it's really life enhancing as well. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Well, it was a huge pleasure talking to you,
Oh,
and I'm so happy we found the time
yeah.
to do this. And yeah, maybe we'll do it again at the end of this year to see
Yeah.
our evolution in our
Yeah.
process. Yeah. So have a lovely day. Talk
Thank you,
soon.
Melanie. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.